everybody, welcome back to the Nest. Viper here with January of 1937. It's round two. We're going to go ahead and gear up with our communist and our fascist parties, starting with Germany and its 20 IPPs. A couple things that they've bought. We haven't focused really on the SS divisions, as we will in the next couple of turns when they're coming up, but we're going to look into what we're doing now. So here with Germany, we went ahead and got a light tank that we are lend-leasing to National Spain, a tactical bomber, and an airborne, and then we spent 2 IPPs in debt on the battleship in our shipyard up here in our production yards. No attacking from Germany yet. They're still trying to figure out what they're going to do, but Nationalist Spain took a hit from Asturias over into Barcelona. Nationalist Spain only had 1 hit out of all of the rolls. Barcelona did a hit. Asturias ended up losing 1 infantry, but took Barcelona in the process. This is going to force Republican Spain to have to answer that and respect the fact that the only thing they had open after that was Murcia. On our non-combat moves, Spain moved from Leon Castile to Asturias, and the plane that was in the attack towards Barcelona went back to Leon Castile. Our non-combat moves, our subs have moved over here into the Atlantic, continuing along those convoy lines. And for placement, the light tank went into Leon Castile, and our bomber and airborne went in here into Stettin with our little block on our box. So remember, we really like our little boxes and our little blocks. A recruitment mole for Nationalist Spain did succeed, and they put an infantry down in Leon Castile. Moving on to Russia, Republican Spain, and CCP China. Russia starts off with 8 IPPs. Com China starts off with 2. Russia's going to lend lease 1 of their IPPs to Com China. They also bought an infantry that they are lend leasing to Republican Spain, and they bought themselves a light tank. The Communist China, with that extra 1 IPP, decided that they're going to throw it on an infantry. No attack from Republican Spain because at the time they were not very supported over in Barcelona just yet. Russia had a border skirmish in northern Manchuria here. Russia had a mountain and river penalty of a -1, and they ended up losing 1 infantry for it, whereas northern Manchuria took that 1 hit and only 2 loss and 2 misses. It's a border skirmish, so there's just 1-hit wonders there. Everybody moves back to their place. CCP China attacked in Sichuan. They missed all 3 of their rolls. Sichuan took 1 hit. CCP China has 1 infantry that ended up being wounded, and they decided to retreat. In our non-combat moves, infantry moved into non-combat, or into Communist China, because it's the only place they could move to. Russia continues to move west towards Poland and the Baltic states, keeping our fine line right here where we can see it very well. And Republican Spain split their infantry from Extremadura to Murcia, and their entire air force that was in Madrid is now in Murcia. So now Republican Spain is at an advantage where that they can actually defend Murcia and or attack. Russia's light tank went to Leningrad, and the infantry that they lend-leased to Republican Spain went to Murcia as well. Republican Spain's recruitment roll did fail, so they are not going to get that extra infantry that they possibly could have gotten. Back to our Pacific side of our board, Japan and Manchuria. Japan starting off with 15 IPPs, Manchuria still at 5. Japan decides that they're going to buy 2 regular Marines, not their specialist Marines, and an artillery, and then they pay 3 debt on their cruiser. Manchuria bought 1 more Kwantong army. No attacks from Japan and Manchuria, but instead just some serious non-combat movement. For Manchuria, everything in Karelin and West Manchuria went to Johor, and Northern Manchuria went to Western Manchuria. Japan moved their torpedo boat from over here down to Saigon, and the placement for Japanese troops all went into Tokyo, and Manchuria placed theirs in Johor. Give us a few minutes. We're going to go ahead and get the Allies' powers geared up. We're going to get their movements going. We're also going to try to get a couple of rounds in tonight and see how many videos we can get loaded up. If you like everything what you're seeing, if you have any comments on what you're seeing, you're questioning my sanity, please feel free to comment below. Live it, like it, love it, subscribe. We'll see you in a few minutes. Hi guys, welcome back. The Allies have moved their round for round 2, January of 1937. Let's go and get that started. Euro Brits, we're going to get them on there, 11 IPPs. We have purchased 1 artillery, 1 infantry. We put 2 det on the carrier and 2 det on the other cruiser. Now, I want to focus in on this just a little bit and explain a couple things. Now that the Brits have paid off their carrier, their next turn they will be able to spend 3 IPPs to move it to the next stage. This is what we were talking about in the intro about being able to stage the placement of the ships, no matter what kind they are, whether it's a battleship, a cruiser, a carrier, it doesn't matter. But now that that debt, original debt, is paid off, the Brits will be able to move that to the next round using IPPs if they choose to do so. It does take a little bit longer to get ships out on the water, but keep in mind we are starting this a lot earlier than the original Global War game. The Americans have done the same thing. We'll get to that here in a minute, so let's concentrate on our Brits. The Pac Brits bought 1 infantry and 1 militia, and Anzac with their 3 IPPs bought 1 infantry. There's no war, so there's no combat. And we're going to start over here with our Anzac. Anzac moved their transport in the Indian Ocean, continuing it on over here going towards the African Horn. The Pac Brits moved their destroyer in India to the light carrier with the Indian Horn. And on our placement, and we're going to stay over here for a minute, our infantry for our Pac Brits went to Calcutta, and militia moved on into Burma. Now, our militia, I haven't mentioned this yet, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there. Militia is pink, orange is our mountaineers, blue is going to be our Marines, white is going to be airbornes, purple will be special units. You'll see them over here in Italy and Finland and stuff like that when we get to those. And our 1 infantry also moved for Anzac, has been placed in Sydney because that's the only place where they actually have a facility to do so. For Euro Brits, we put 1 of our infantry over here in London, and we have an artillery that got placed in South Africa. Our South Africa moved to Rhodesia here, and our battleship and destroyer from Morocco is heading in towards the Mediterranean. Our transports at London is included 1 infantry and is moving towards the Strait of Gibraltar here. And our torpedo boat in London is joining the light carrier here in Spain. And all other transports across the board are moving towards London that do not already have units on them. In France, we had 5 IPPs. France put that towards their battleship. Did not buy anything else. France does still have their railroads open to Germany so that Germany can continue to lend lease to nationalist Spain. Non-combat, our French sub that was in the Channel is now joining the fleet in the North Sea. And the transport at Spain is moving towards the Channel here. Italy. Italy has 7 IPPs, and that they bought an infantry to lend lease to nationalist Spain, and they paid 4 det on their battleship here. Their non-combat move, they moved from Abyssinia up to or down towards Somalia, and they placed the 1 infantry that they have lend leased over here into Leon Castile. For the U.S. and KMT China, the U.S. had 6. They did the same thing as Britain. They paid off their carrier, so next turn if they choose to do so, they will have to pay 4 to move their carrier to the next staging round so that they can get it up to where they can move it out and place it in their waters. KMT used their 6 to buy 1 mountaineer and 1 militia. There's no attacks from either one. KMT China is going to continue to move things into or back to the west, going towards the Burma Road and into the mountains, getting away from the coastline. The light tank, or let's see, let's start with the Sichuan, Sichuan, and is moving towards Hunan, getting those military units away from the coastline in the event when Japan decides that they're just going to drop everything it's got right on the border. Over here we had our destroyer and transport in Wake Island. The transport moved to Hawaii and the destroyer joined the fleet in San Francisco. And on the other side, our light tank has joined our crew over here at DC. Now with that in mind, don't forget that we are coming up on July of 1937. That's going to be round 3. We're actually going to do that tonight and go ahead and get that done. Moves are going to be very fast for the next couple of rounds until things start really blowing up on the board. Europe is really getting its gear up to, Germany going towards Poland, Russia going towards Poland, where we have our Ribbentrop-Molotov contract. Some other things that we'll be looking into is keeping in mind those SS units that Germany is looking at getting in 1939. That contract, or the pact between Molotov-Ribbentrop in 1939. The U.S. starting to roll to increase their IPPs along with Russia. We're going to be looking at that. And we're going to continue to move things on the board and see where we can get things going. If you like what we're doing, go ahead and give us a comment below. Question my sanity, go ahead and comment that below. We're happy to respond. I'm happy to read what you got. Like it, live it, love it. See you later. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.